All right, what's good, everybody? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today, we've got some big news on the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Some brand new footage that has came out from a YouTube Kids video. It went up really early in the morning and it's super weird, but we're gonna break it down here because it does have new footage, some new locations, some new weapon fusion as well, which you guys will be seeing. So shout outs to my man Genki over on Twitter who broke this down. Now, the new Zelda footage is from the Japanese song Pian Zuba Basha Iya song, and I hope I said that correctly. I probably messed it up, but essentially it's a YouTube Kids video, so it's for a younger audience. It was part of a collection with other games like Animal Crossing and also Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. But the interesting thing about this footage is that there's actually new gameplay put in here. There's a really big enemy that they show off here on a bridge of some sorts, so it does seem like there are some new bits to this gameplay because I am going to play it slowed down. And we talked about a potential like meat arrow or like meat shield that you can fuse, but Link definitely did something like that. He has a spear with some fruits on it. It looks like, or no, it's a mushroom spear. He's fused a spear with a mushroom and he's definitely trying to hit you with that mushroom. Now, what we do know is that if you fuse a mushroom with a weapon, it's going to burst into like a cloud of smoke to then where you can stealth strike someone so they won't be able to detect you or see you. So pretty cool. You've got some enemies in the background as well. You got the beautiful sky there, and Link is showing off the shroom spear. We should call it that, the shroom spear. Okay, I think we can call it that. He also bashes a like bokoblin over the head too, with just like a weapon before it cuts to a different thing. Here we see the same weapon that one of the constructs was carrying in the Alnuma gameplay that blew Link off of the Sky Island going towards the surface. But here Link is actually using it to kind of blow this makeshift raft that he's built here through Ultra Hand. So you can do that as well. They also show a nice spin attack, which once again, I mean, there's some really short cuts in this, but it just shows Link. Nice spin attack here. Multiple different smaller like spheres kind of put together on like some makeshift hilt. And of course a wooden shield for that. So yeah, like a dagger, almost like a sword dagger. You can see Link's expression here. Link's got some good expressions in this game. Here we see the custom made flying machine that we've seen before. Although the big difference with this one is that Link is wearing the, I don't know if it's the past outfit or the toga outfit in terms of things. He's not wearing his champion's tunic compared to when we last saw this flying machine that you could make out of, you know, one of those boxes and the different propellers and the ultra hand. And he's flying up, it seems like incredibly high, because usually when you look at the different Sky Islands, you see that there's like a base level of Sky Islands, then sometimes there's a little bit of a higher level. But here, this area is incredibly high up, and this is what I was talking about. The verticality of this game is just absolutely nuts. So what type of secrets can we uncover from this? Very cool here as well. And the next thing here, it shows a really quick like frame almost of Link once again hitting another moblin, another enemy as well. So sorry if I mess up the names, guys, when it comes down to it. So man, it's crazy. They're just kind of showing quite a bit here, but they're doing it in a very quick type of way. There are multiple different cuts and it's very fast to really just be like kind of spazzy and kind of, you know, I would say catchy for kids to listen to. Here Link is shooting an arrow with some nice colors, and also it seems like there is somebody's house. So they're in a village of some sorts, or maybe Link's own house that he built. Maybe you can do like the whole village maker thing. That was something that they wanted to do in Breath of the Wild, but did not have the time or took it out. So maybe that's going to be something. And then once again, we see this weapon. We've seen this weapon before. We saw, I think it was the second trailer for Tears of the Kingdom, where you can have like, it's like an ancient kind of like construct weapon, and it like throws like essentially like a flaming grenade, like an explosion grenade. Now this might just be a new weapon that you get in the game or something that you fuse to get it, but it seems like it's just like a weapon that an enemy would drop and then you'll be able to use it, because as soon as it makes contact, it blows up this stone talus here. So very interesting as well. And then Link also shoots an apple for some reason. I mean, you gotta shoot the apple, Johnny Appleseed. So yeah, he does shoot the apple with a standard arrow, and that's pretty cool. You shoot the apple, you take care of it. He has a spinning attack, and he's lighting this campfire. So the survival elements are still going to be here as well with this. And then also looks like there's some mining for different types of stones, which stones in this game are going to be more than what they were in the previous game, because you will be able to fuse those two arrows and they will have different properties. So like a ruby will be fire, and there'll be some other ones that will probably have different properties like ice or electricity. So I think that, mining these is going to be, dual meanings. Like you can sell them obviously, but also you can use them for maybe your dye for your clothing like you could in the first game, or you use them for combat as well. So make sure you mine up here, and it's showing some mining really for, I think they probably showed it, but I don't remember exactly when, but pretty cool there as well overall. And we've seen this before, the stone talus or like the stone construct or whatever the heck this thing is, prism golem thing flip. And yeah, then we're back to the beginning here. That is the end of that. So that is the breakdown of all of the new gameplay footage there. Looks pretty cool. But I did want to move on to some more Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom news, because there are people that are faking that the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has early copies that are out in the wild from like GameStop or something like that. There's some satire posts that are out there. So guys, be careful. There are some posts out there that are saying that the game is out and all that. So that's not the case. Here on PlayerEssence, we're never going to spoil you or make up stuff in terms of footage or in terms of content that's not there or nothing that's actually happening. So right now, guys, just be aware of that. It's on Twitter. There are some rounds, and it's supposed to be satire. It's supposed to be joking, but some of you guys might take it seriously, or there might be people who are spreading this seriously. With Tears of the Kingdom, you never know. People are going to try to trick you. People are going to try to put in spoilers once it gets closer. So I'm going to keep you guys up to date on the leaking situation or if anything happens. But I would say take some precautions, guys. Make sure you take some precautions, because there are going to be people who want to spoil this game for you. I will not be one of those people, but there will be people that want to spoil it for you, or will be in bad faith. There'll be some bad information that's out there, or whatever the case is. So just make sure, guys, that you understand that these fake Tears of the Kingdom display boxes, or whatever the case, like the game is coming out early or somebody's going to stream it, are making the rounds. So there's that. Now let's get to the next story here, which I found very interesting, because shout out to my man Nintendo Prime. He put out a video recently saying that reviewers have The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This was directly disputed by another one of my friends and fellow Spawncast member, Nate from Direct Feed Games. He stated that review codes have not been distributed. Now, Prime didn't put that in the title of the video. He just said Tears of the Kingdom news arrived. So, of course, if you watch it, then it says it in there. And Nate directly says that it's not. So, once again, we have a pretty big contradiction here. Now, Nintendo Prime has gotten some stuff right when it comes to his information with The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, there's been stuff that's wrong or off base, and that happens sometimes. But, he has gotten a few things right here and there, with some things wrong. So, is this something that's wrong? Maybe. Now, they go back and forth on this, and I want to make sure that we get to the bottom of it. So they go back and forth on this one, because Nate from Direct Feed Games does say review code has not been distributed. So Nintendo Prime goes back with saying, not sure what to tell you, not outing the peeps who told me. Direct Feed Games says, don't need to know who they are, but I do know what they told you isn't true. Review code has not been distributed at the moment. Prime goes back and says, given who these people are and where they work, and the evidence provided, not sure what to tell you. It's hard to really say or do anything else without just directly providing outing stuff. Not going to call them liars because you say so, Nate. Sorry. So, I mean, there's that back and forth when it comes down to it. And of course, RGT comes in with the Nate fight, and all that. So I feel that when you look at things like this, obviously you don't want to out your sources, right? So if this was true with the review code and all of that stuff, you don't want to out your sources. You don't want to say who told you what it is, because if you do, they can get in trouble. But then again, at the same time, then you have people that say, hey, look, they have their sources, and they have a lot of people that are very much in the know-how saying, nope, this is not happening. So this is one of those things to where we just won't know. Because when you get a review code from like a reviewer, like they don't like tell you when, like we're not going to know exactly when they got it. We're just going to know that at some point they got it. So there's not going to be any real way to verify this publicly. It's never going to really come out when they got their review code, unless they talk about it maybe in their review, which that's obviously going to be embargoed. But usually they don't talk about when they got their review code. So it's going to be one of those things that we just don't know what is going on at all. And we're going to have to just wait and see, or just, hey, look, maybe it's happened, maybe it has not happened. Who knows at the end of the day? But here's what I do know when it comes down to it. Information could be passed to someone, right? I've gotten information before and ended up being not quite on base. It's not like people are trying to lie or anything. Things just maybe change sometimes, or maybe there was a miscommunication in terms of when something was being distributed or how it was happening. Things change all the time, right? The Metroid Prime stuff, we knew that with like Jeff Grubb and what was going on. So it seems like that game was ready to go from like last year or 2021, not even last year, 2021. And Nintendo sat on it for a while. People were reporting that it's coming a lot sooner than it was. So, I mean, it's one of those things to where there could just be that, right? I'm not going to sit there and say anybody's a liar or anything, but there are times that there are misinformation going around, or information that ends up not being correct, but there's times that it is. So it's up to you guys to believe or not believe whatever you want to with this. But I just find it fascinating, so I wanted to cover it going forward, just because there's going to be a lot of information and a lot of rush of info coming here with Tears of the Kingdom launching in less than a month here, man. It's just going to be a few weeks, you know, about 2-3 weeks and we got before Tears of the Kingdom drops. So yeah, it's pretty much about 3 weeks at this point. A lot of fun. What do you guys think about all the different topics that we discussed here when it comes to The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom? Let me know in the comment section below. And make sure you check out my previous videos on Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We've got full coverage here. Talk about some of the AAA developers talking about the game and also more. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you for the next video. Peace.